What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Don't Hold Your Breath. Castle levels of 28, validated on this mage, so let's jump into the castle. I'm not sure how much content's going to come out this week. It might be a lighter week overall, but I should be able to at least get a few videos, like a few Viewer Castles. I'm planning on doing a patch video, as long as the patch comes out on Thursday. Like it usually does, I'll be able to record it. If it comes out on Friday, I might not be able to get it out till a little bit later. What else? I'm going to do a couple Viewer Castle episodes, obviously this one. I'm going to try to get one or two more done as well. And maybe towards the end of the week I might be able to find time to rebuild my castle, but I'm not 100% sure that will happen. So this is a good idea. The problem is in actual, like, the way that it actually works is with the stun immunity that you build up, it's kind of hard for it to actually push you onto this last spike trap, or springboard trap rather, but I can see what you're going for. You want to throw them into probably, this is either corrosive and slow mines, or slow mines, most likely it's one or the two, or a mix of both. And then you have a slowing hunger bot with a bunch of derps behind this wall to kind of shield them from sight so that you don't really know what's happening. Let's see what kind of traps these are. Okay, so I wouldn't go with fire mines just because it's going to kill a lot of your derps, or it's going to make them at least a little bit weak. As you can see there, it's not that big of a deal, but I would go with, like, I think the slows will slightly stack, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So it would be something you would have to test. If you get hit by a slow mine and the hunger bot, does that stack? Or does it really even matter for you? Maybe they dodge the hunger bot, but they don't dodge the slow mines, and it helps them get a little bit closer. I would say that if you want to make this as effective as possible, you just remove this springboard completely, and then when they do hit this, because I did end up hitting this springboard, they're going to get thrown to right around here, so you could have the same basic thing going on just a little bit farther up. I don't know if they can all fit together the way you want it to, but that's what I would do to make that a little bit more effective. I think I'm running like 10% stun resistance as well, control resistance, but I don't think it'll matter a whole lot either way. Alright, so I'm able to kite that back because I kind of walked over here and I saw the Robo Shieldatron. Alright, that's a totem, so I'll just go inside here. Vamps are something I always want to use. Obviously this is the elite version. The problem is right there, you can see that they just don't survive long enough. I guess maybe with the Robo Shieldatron, the problem is I don't think his leash on the Robo Shieldatron will be long enough to actually stay on the Vamp. I think that's going to be the main issue there. It's still not a bad room. Maybe a few too many ballista traps just in the corner of this room, because a lot of the time, like, the only time they're going to be effective is if they're standing over here. You could probably remove one or maybe even two of those. Alright, there's something behind there. Looks like goatmen. My skeletons actually kind of alerted me to that fact, but I should be able to kill most of them from around this corner. It is a totem, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. I can actually stun these guys and kill them while they're outside of totem range. At least one of them I could. Alright, and then let's get over here. So this is a problem with this room in general, is that there's too many spaces to kind of like kite away from the mob. You're trying to like alleviate that problem by putting traps down this hallway, but it's still a little bit easy for me to juke the goatmen's damage. I use this room as well though, and I have the same problems. I'm planning on not using it the next time. That's a cool little trap that I didn't really see when I was walking in there. Just deals a little bit of damage. I don't know if it's really worth it, but, you know. It gets some damage down, it's just I don't know how effective fire mines are at this point. They nerfed them quite a bit, like a couple months ago. And not many people use them anymore. Alright, this looks a little bit scary. I'm gonna just get hit by a mouse wheel trap twice, and then with that stun immunity, it won't matter what actually happens, because you can see how that works. For people who don't know, since I haven't, I haven't actually, excuse me, maybe I'm getting sick. Anyway, like I said, I haven't actually talked about this in a while, although I mentioned it a lot when closed beta started, where stun immunity, you could see it there. Basically, I didn't get thrown very far because I got hit and stunned by mouse wheel traps. it usually takes 2 times for you to get up close to maximum stun immunity. And what basically happens is the game has this like hidden stat where you're building up stun immunity, and it goes away out over time. So if you get hit by mouse wheels or if you get hit by springboard traps, it's going to give you a little bit of this stat, which is basically control resistance is what it's giving you. And it puts it up to, I don't even know, like 80% as the max and maybe 20% per hit or something like that. So you get 40% and then 60, and then you're maxed by like 4 hits or something. It's similar to that. I know it's not exact, but basically if you ever have a room that has springboard traps and you use mouse wheel traps in front of it, you have to be aware that the person can do what I just did there and make it a lot easier for themselves to get through. Yeah, you'll take an extra 200 or 300 damage from the mouse wheel traps, but that's always going to be worth it if they're like trying to set up a death trap on you. So in general, I don't usually use, like as a general rule of thumb, I don't usually use mouse wheels in conjunction with springboard traps. There's a few situations where I'll do that, but for the most part, I don't do it. I'll either just use mouse wheels or just use springboard traps. Alright, so yeah, let's jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have SamsonXL, castle levels of 30, valued on either the Knight or the Mage or the Runaway. The Runaway actually seems to have better gear, so it's possible that this is a Runaway main. He's got actually really good gear on this guy. It's obviously a Runaway main because he's got the good rings, I'm guessing, on... Yeah, good rings on the Runaway. He actually has 2 level 30 amulets of awesome. That's really good. I have no idea how you got all this. It's pretty much full epics for the Runaway. I think the Runaway epics are a little bit easier to find. I found a lot of rock guard stuff compared to like bogarts and stuff like that, which is a lot harder to find, at least in my opinion. But let's jump into this castle and take a look at what he's got in here. I'm really looking for some like awesome ideas that I can either, I don't want to steal things, like I don't want to copy paste, but I want to like have some ideas for when I'm rebuilding my castle, because I'm kind of lost on what to do. Like obviously I could rebuild an old design, but I want to do something a little bit different. And we see a lot of these type of things where this is pretty much what I have going on in mind. It's a little bit different setup obviously, but it's basically like a big amount of anti-kiting and like engaging basically right at the start, and then you go in and there's a bunch of mobs, and then it's like either dead space or it goes right into another death trap or something like that. This as a start for your castle is pretty good, but I don't want to like have dead space afterwards. At least I think that's what I don't want to do, but I don't really know. I'm pretty like confused on what exactly I want to do with this. Alright, so he's got a ballista room. This is something I used right at the start of defense crafting because it was really good with old ballista traps. Still works okay, but a lot of people I think have just gotten better at dealing with it, or because traps kind of got a stealth nerf by increasing the creature's health and the health of heroes. Traps kind of just overall got a nerf because, you know, people are tankier, so it's a lot harder to burst them down and force them to use potions in rooms like that. Especially for archers and mages who don't have enough hit points to really make use of the biggest health potions. It doesn't matter as much for knights, although they're going to have so much health that they're probably going to get through like 3 of those rooms without even having to worry about it. I don't know why that chicken was there. I guess maybe you just had an extra point and wanted to throw it at the end to troll people. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Alright. So let's continue on and see. Alright, I'm gonna just... I could drop a volley down here. That actually did a lot of damage to me because I ran straight through the fire of that rotating flame trap. I'm just gonna go in, I guess, and see what happens. There's a Defendatron right there. Yeah, this is actually a lot of damage. I gotta try to get out of here and juke around these. I like that. That's really cool. I like the totem placement. I didn't actually notice that it was a totem room until I went all the way around there. That's pretty good. The problem is that like the barricades kind of form a shield for the person to get around. If they do manage to get to this side and then they'll see the totem, that's kind of like a common place that people will go if they're trying to dodge away from damage. because, you know, behind barricades they can't shoot through and stuff like that. Alright, we have a mouse wheel room here. I could try to go to the sides of it. Normally I don't when I face mouse wheel rooms, but because it's fewer castles and I don't really care if I lose crowns. Okay, so there's nothing actually here. I will check the other side just because I can get over it in one roll, I think. Yeah. Alright, so there's nothing here. I would say that you could get rid of one or two of your mouse wheel, at least two of your mouse wheel traps, and just take off the sides there. It's going to do the same basic thing, but a little bit less point cost to you. Alright, this is going to be a boss room, or a death trap, I'm not sure which yet. I'm going to build up a little stun immunity like I mentioned last castle. Yeah, it's just another death trap, and just allows me to roll a little bit quicker because I'll be stunned less amount of time, so I can dodge things. I do like the headshot archer death rooms like this, but I don't know. Every time I try to use them, they don't really turn out as effective as I'd like them to. Like, archers are just so easy to kill that it makes it hard to use them, in my opinion. Although with volley being shorter range and like vortex and all of that being a little bit harder to use, it might be okay. Alright, this is pretty neat. There's a lot going on here. I'm a little bit scared of this room coming up. I might actually die here because this is going to be the last potion. I'm going to have to use it and then go in, and I probably can't kite back out or else I'll be too low to finish it off. So let's just try. Okay, I actually kited. I actually ended up... Oh, it's a totem in here. So this is one of the first times that I've actually seen this. I've heard a lot of people talking about totems being able to be placed in the boss room nowadays. And that's pretty interesting to me. I'll probably try that out in my new castle if they don't nerf it this patch. Alright, I'm probably gonna die here. Like, I can't... This is actually really cool. I actually like this a lot. I like... Yeah, I like how like, it's really good how this all works. Like, you have that first springboard trap, and you have this caustic carpet, so you launch on top of that, and then by the time you get back up, the spider runs to you and knocks you over, and then it just heals back up. Like, I really like how that all works. That's really, really good. I might steal that. That's really strong. I like it a lot. And then you have these to slow you down. Like, the entire thing is to, like, make it extremely hard on the person to actually get through your room. So I don't know what's going on with that spider now. So the totem's just kind of hidden off to the side. So I guess that's what people are talking about, because it's right in the front of your boss room right here, and then it connects to the boss itself. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty strong. And I like the way it works with the spider as well, because the spider automatically kind of runs away by itself. So it like will like activate the totem pretty much every time. So that's pretty good. I might do something similar to that. Maybe the same thing I could do with hot rollers and stuff like that. It seems like a good idea. We'll see if they end up nerfing it next patch, because most likely I'm going to wait until next patch to rebuild, just in case there's something that I want to use. I might start the rebuilding process, and I might make something similar to that room, see what I can do with it. I want to take another look at it, just because I want to see exactly what's going on here. So instead you have the springboard traps out instead of like mouse wheels or hot rollers, which is fine. It works good with that because the springboard trap obviously will always launch you back on top of the caustic carpet. I'm guessing the spider is somewhere around here, or maybe back just slightly. Probably as close as he can be to the totem, because I'm guessing it's right on the edge of its range. And then the rest of the units, I'm not sure if they would actually be inside of the totem ring itself. Probably not, if I had to guess, because they don't seem to aggro. And that aggro is just right on the edge as soon as you get up there. I'm guessing the spider is what aggroes it, because the boss ring is so big. The aggro circle for the boss is really huge. That's pretty strong. And then I'm guessing the totem is completely full when you use that. So yeah, I really like that end to your castle. I felt like I was doing well, but as soon as I hit that, I had like one potion left, and I kind of had to get into that room, and you just pretty much sit on that caustic carpet. I'm guessing the best way to do that would be to go off to the side of the caustic carpet, aggro it, run back, and then roll past the spider when he launches out, and then try to just get into the boss room. Once you're into the boss room, it should be fairly easy. But yeah, really good castle. We'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, lastly we have CastleFruit. Castle level is a 30, validated with this archer. Let's jump into this castle and take a look. Alright, so more goatmen at the start of the castle. I'm pretty used to that now. I think a lot of people should be used to that. I don't know if this still gets kills. I've actually never used this strategy. I've seen it used quite a bit, you know, because the wall kind of blocks it out, so it's hard to see as soon as you get in, and then if you roll, you're right up next to the goatmen, and they can kill you. I've died to it a couple of times, but not a ton. So I'm not sure how it works with, like, against the masses of people. But I think, like, everybody has seen it at this point, as long as you're an active Mighty Quest player. Alright, I will explore this just really quickly. Obviously, this is probably not the way the castle goes. But I'll just look for some mines or anything. This also lets me know that there's like at least 3 rooms that aren't connected to the normal castle, so most likely it's going to be a fairly dense castle, and it'll probably lead into a fairly big boss room. That's what this tells me, at least. So that's like 1 room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms that aren't actually used in the castle. So that only leaves, I don't know. I think it's a total of 8, the boss room and the entrance is included. So it leaves like 3 rooms that can actually have mobs in it. Alright, there's 2 random derps here, I have no idea why, but that's fine. It's only 2 points. So yeah, there's 3, and this is a 4th room as well that is being used, so I mean, this can at least use up probably 80 or so points if you use it with a lot of traps and stuff. Alright, let's see if I can do this. This is gonna be painful. I shouldn't have stood there and volleyed. They aggroed too quickly. And it didn't really deal damage to them anyway. So yeah, you can see how dense this castle is gonna be by just seeing mobs up there already. Forward kiting would be an okay option, but it is a totem room. Though even when you forward kite with totems, it still kind of just bugs out the AI. Alright, so what I need to do here is aggro this group, wait for the AoE to go down, and then volley right when it's about to go down. If you're using trap archers, I kind of prefer headshot archers for the most part, but trap archers are still okay, probably really good against knights still. They've always been pretty strong against knights because it's hard for the knights to actually get up and attack the archers. But ever since they changed it from 3 traps to 1 traps, I haven't really used them. Alright, there's a group right here. I'll aggro this. I think that should have aggro, but maybe not. It killed whatever it was, but that should aggro everything. Alright, that's a totem. That's fine. I should have dropped bear traps earlier. I would be able to kill the Cyclops. I kind of like the charging Cyclops here because it forces the reset, but you can see how you can kind of abuse this at least a little bit. Totems are in a weird spot right now. Alright, I probably shouldn't have volleyed there. Oh well, I think I'm just going to go in. I actually am kind of out of potions. I don't know if I brought a full 4 with me. And if I've already used them or what, but I'm definitely lower than I'd like to be on potions right now. There's a couple units here that are bugged. I don't know, it's a pretty interesting group with the derps and everything to keep you on your toes when you get over here. Because derps can actually deal a significant amount of damage. Alright, so there's probably 1 more room and then the boss room, if I had to guess. Okay, I actually aggroed a group. There's no more, hold on, no more totems left. I used all of them, because there's only 2 per castle. So once you count the first 2 totems, you kind of know that you can kite things a little bit more. Alright, looks like this is going to be the boss room. I should be able to make it through with 1 potion left. These are all punching Cyclopses. I've never really seen these used, and there's no trap pressure. I'm kind of confused as to what's actually going to happen to me right here. I feel like they'll never be able to get close enough to hit me. Especially with bear traps. What else do we have here? That's actually a pretty interesting boss room. There's a lot of units here. Trying to time out an AoE from a Defendatron. I don't think I did a good job though. Alright, I'm just gonna aggro everything. Oh god, this is gonna hurt. I let the derps get way too close to me. Just trying to focus down the Defendatrons for the most part, so that I can actually volley this stuff. Alright, that killed off most of it. Then get rid of the puppeteers, and then everything else should die pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm not sure. The boss room is kind of weird, because there's not a whole lot. Like, if you do get stunned by one of the bear traps, you'll probably die 100%. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot that can kill you. You might even think about, like, putting in some Scorpios or something, 1 or 2, just to hook the person into this big ball of, like, death, because it's really hard to survive this if you get really close to it, because you'll get stunned by the bear traps, you'll get, like, hit by all of the Cyclopses and stuff like that. But there's not a whole lot that has range to it, so if you just kite properly, I mean, obviously archers have range, but bear trap archers aren't super strong at actually dealing damage. And even sniper archers here, it's hard because you're able to move so much that they'd probably miss most of the time anyway. But yeah, that is number 3, so we're going to end this video here. As always, if you guys enjoyed what I do, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of Eurocast, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. There's a link to that in the description, level 20 and above castles. And that is pretty much it. I still have a total of 2 castles to run after this one, or two episodes to record rather, so a total of 6 castles. And that should take me up for the most part of this week, but next week I'll be looking for more castles to run, so definitely submit your castles. If you got anything cool that you're doing with totems, you can let me know that in the email, or just submit and I'll run through it and find it out myself, either way. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.